Yeah, yeah.
Sir, is it audible to you, sir? So, good evening to the tall guy. Sir, in the participants can hear mic when someone is speaking. Fine. So, I'd like to introduce chief guest today, no, Dr. V.L. Jayapal, Associate Professor and Head PG and Research Department of English, St. Joseph College, a reputed college which is well known in the city of Tiruchirappalli. And it got like a fourth time, no, A plus plus grade from NAC. And Sir has started his career, no, as a lecturer in English, and he had been there in various positions like assistant music coordinator, NSS coordinator, music team coordinator, bridge course coordinator, English Association president, and Western dance team as a like associator, communication lab coordinator, placement officer, and whatnot. The list goes on, sir. Due to time, I'm just saying one or two details of yours. And Sir is just guiding more than five students. And he is the doctoral committee member of 17 like different institutions. Sir is an academic member of Madura College and Nehru Memorial College and Jairaj Annabhakyam College of Women and Vivekananda College for Women and Annabhakyam College of Women Kolhapur. Sir has edited few books and he has attended more than like 30 seminars and workshops. He has written more than 10 research articles and publications. And in various workshops, no sir has given training. And to just to say one or two, he has moderated the communication club meeting. And he is there, no, as an interview board member for a few colleges. He delivered a lecture on soft skills for third year students at St. Joseph College. And he chaired a chair, no, in one day seminar on emerging trends in post colonial literature and delivered the valedictory special talk on employability skills and served as a teaching staff selection commission member too and delivered a lecture on ICT in education, a bird's eye view of its challenges and advantages in higher education. And Sar has done a project too in UGC. UGC sponsored minor project, sanctioned in the year 2012 and is on English language teaching practices in psychophysical therapeutic perspectives and analysis. And he has done so many in-service trainings and orientation programs. And whatever program is there, almost in 90% of the programs of the college, sir will be a part of it. And sir, we are happy to have you with us today, sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, madam. Am I
Yes, sir.
audible?
Yes, sir. So I have given only a few things up here, sir. Actually, the list goes on. Thank you, sir, for being with us, sir. Now the stage is yours, sir.
Thank you for your nice words of introduction.
Yes,
And
sir.
I would like to first thank and appreciate all of you for arranging this wonderful FTP program. I wanted to especially thank the secretary, correspondent, director, principal, professor head, and the COE, and also the coordinators. That is particularly yourself, Dr. Sangeeta Priya, and also Sri Vidya. I wanted to appreciate you all for conducting this because in today's scenario, it is very hard for us to handle classes and to integrate this 21st century skills. So I thought, we all know almost what are these 21st century skills and how are we going to just integrate with our curriculum is the whole theme. So I thought my focus would be on how classroom activities will be helpful to enhance the students' 21st century skills, right? So in that way, I thought I can start my presentation focusing on classroom activities. But before that, I would like to just say this 21st century skills and the English classroom is not going to be much of difference because we have the classroom, naturally teacher, learners, the resources, that is materials, and infrastructure. And in most of our institutions, we have all these facilities perfectly well. Now, we must be aware of the present scenario. What is that? The teachers' way to prepare students for the real world because it is changing. We are getting ready to prepare the students to face the changing world. And on the students' part also, students' way to develop their skills is changing a lot. Again, when they complete their degrees, when they go out, the changes are completely different. They are unable to face the reality and they are unable to cope with the reality. The expectations are different. And the technology usage is quite changing. See, when we started online classes, there were only a few links that we had or platforms that we had to meet each other. But today, the meeting is not in Google Meet, and most of the participants will be wondering, yesterday it was Google Meet, why today it is StreamYard, and it is streamed in YouTube. Day by day, even minute by minute, it keeps on changing. So as teachers, as faculty members, we must be aware of this changing, and we have to prepare our students for this changing world. That is reality. Whether we like it or not, we have to accept it. So teachers also must work for students to face this changing world. Students also must realize that the world is keeping on changing, and the technology, no doubt, we have real challenges and also blessings because of these technology. Now, why do we want to talk about this 21st century skills in an English classroom? I hope all of you can see the slide with a family photo. Grandfather, great grandfather, grandson, great grandson, okay, grandchildren, okay, the siblings, parents, all of them we live. This was, the scenario when we live with our family members. Not only inside our houses we lived like this, even in communities, to take decisions, to plan it well. Okay, maybe in a village, as farmers, we came together to plan out. And I think you all will agree with me, wedding arrangements those days, in all the lot of discussion. And it is not only with one family, with the brides and also the groom's family. We decided, we planned, we communicated, we did so many things. And same in community also. For example, as I told you, when farmers came together, harvest planning. So when they wanted to plan it, like when to harvest, how to do it, and in what way we have to sell it, all those things were done by coming together. But these skills, coming together, collaborating, or whatever we say, like, the things are gone away. The present scenario is, I am not alone, but with my mobile. We are not able to come together, whether it's a wedding arrangement or other communications, all these communications and collaborations are done only through mobile phones. We are not coming together. So naturally, we need to talk about the 21st century skills that must be incorporated or integrated or blended with our English classrooms. It's a wonderful idea because only in arts, that is in language classrooms particularly, we will be able to blend this or integrate these skills in a wonderful way. And I also wanted to tell you, my dear teaching fraternity, we all are in the same boat to face these challenges. How to integrate all these skills in our classrooms. See, they say the four C's are the major 21st century skills for our students, not only for our students, but for all. Critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and creativity. Now, according to me, we have planned in each of our colleges, in universities, we have planned wonderful syllabi, wonderful curriculum. It is there. Each and every institution has its own and unique, curriculum. Definitely, all these are very useful, no doubt. But when we try to implement, how are we finding it to implement all these activities in the classroom? How do we assess our students? There comes the problem because the number is very large. So what we have to do is we have to focus on how we can implement or integrate these skills in our language classrooms. So for this, we must first think why. As I told you, the changing world. Okay, in that perspective, maybe in another way, I can put it like it is not only to develop their English language skills, but that will prepare them to live their life successfully beyond the classroom. So that is why we are trying to integrate these activities which will enhance their 21st century skills. So this is the reason. And first one, why critical thinking? Now, our students are completely depending on the gadget with the ICT facilities. They listen to a lot of information. They forward, they read the forwarded messages. And my dear teaching friends, we all understand, even we receive lot of false information and we fall prey for that. And we also forward such false information sometimes. So what we need to do is, like, we must create some activities in the class by making our students aware of how to identify the truth or on what logical reasons they are coming to a conclusion that information shared is the fact. It is very difficult. Now, how are we going to integrate that? That is our challenge. And critical thinking is all about having logical reasons for whatever you have in your mind or whatever you wanted to say. And also, we need evidences. So students also must find some evidences for what they say. So in such a way, we have to create activities. I have a few examples. I just collected from various websites. I just give you the resources also from where I have taken, so that you can also make use of that. First, see, we can incorporate this critical thinking in our classrooms by giving some news articles. So students will also be aware of the current affairs and they will read it and they'll find out how far it is true. We have to ask them certain questions. How do you confirm if this message or this article is true? And you can also make them critically think by asking a question, which part of article do you doubt? Because when there is a doubt, they start to come out with some reasons. This is why I doubt this. So when you start with common happenings or the current affairs, maybe our curriculum may not have such space, but in my opinion, if we bring in these materials, resources, information around us into the curriculum, definitely they will start to think in a different way. And the time limit for this, definitely it is going to be a challenging one. When we wanted to try this for every student in the class to make them critically, respond, it will take definitely, it will consume a lot of time. But then we need our students to be skilled. So this is one of the activities that I wanted to just share with you. The second activity would be we can ask open-ended questions. See, we have to give some space and time for them to respond. The questions on the material that we have supplied already can be like this. How did you come up with this answer? When you ask with this open-ended questions, how did you do that? How did you bring that conclusion? How did you confirm that this information is true? So they will slowly come out with their, critical thinking and the solutions which they have in their mind. And at the same time, we should also provide them opportunity to stand on the other side. The question can be like this: how would your opinion be different if you were on the opposing side? Which means the students will be thinking on different dimensions. When you think on only one dimension, it is not a critical thinking. It is based on your own experiences, your own knowledge, previous knowledge, and your own perception. When we give space for our students in English classes to make them think on different perspectives, if you were there, if it is your opinion like that, why will you say like that? What will make you to say like that? Can you just think on that perspective? Well, okay, we can also give one different dimension like, as a parent, what will be your opinion on this issue? How will you confirm that? As a student, how will you defend that? Or as a public, how would you look at that particular issue? Or as a politician, how would you look at that particular issue? Or as a journalist, how would you look at that? Because each profession, each status, social status has its own perception towards an issue. So when we give open-ended questions with the different perspectives, definitely the critical thinking skills will develop in our students. This will definitely take time. If it is an oral presentation, we'll have to listen to our students and respond and help them think critically on these dimensions. Let me go into the next activity. We need to conduct classes with debates on specific topics. And normally debates are conducted. Some teachers will say, "Sir, in our institutions we continuously conduct. We have a debate club too. Even in my own college, we have a debate club where students come forward on their willingness to just defend their topics. But what we have to do to make them critically, vibrant, we can ask them to go for the opposing side for some time, as we have turn codes. So students will be able to speak for and against on the topic. And we should also help them to find out the logical reasons. Only when they know the reasons, they'll be able to just say that they are very critical about that issue. So I've just given three for the want of time, because there are a lot of activities where we can make our students think and speak critically. And the next is communication. Activities related to communications are too many. In our conventional classes, most of the teachers will say, "Oh, role play, sir, we know." We give them, but they don't talk. But this is what are the most effective ways to make our students speak fluently. Communication is not only English language, the verbal sector alone. It is also the non-verbal part. So when you give them different roles, the non-verbal section also changes according to the context. Definitely, their communication skills will be developed, and that is expected in this century. And I wanted to just go on to the next one because we are familiar with role play. The next one is now they are, thinking pattern is different, the platforms are different, so we can also make them talk on a TED. TED Talks are there. So TED Talks normally goes around 20 minutes. TEDx Talks and TED Talks are there. Simple 2 to 3 minutes TED Talks can be organized for our students, and just we can give them, they can talk something or they can speak on whatever they love, maybe sports, music, traveling, anything. Okay, so in random also we can give topics. There are some smart students, they say, sir, you give me topic, I'm ready to talk on that. We must be ready to give some challenging topics for those students. For others, maybe for the beginners, when we give liberty to select their own topics on their own interest, definitely they come out with things. TED Talks are very, very, impressive talks, attractive talks, where they share their own experiences along with some learning. So it will be quite interesting. They must also be encouraged to watch some TED Talks before they come to the class. Definitely, we can develop their communication skills. The third activity that I would suggest is the written communication. Oral communication, we have a lot of activities. Written communication, we have a lot of activities. Here I have just in a broader way, I have given the formal writing and also informal writing. We all have enough number of activities, writing activities, paragraph writing, essay writing, letter writing, email writing, agenda writing, circular writing, content writing, and whatnot. Now, we need to give them both, written and also oral exercises so that their communication skill in a particular language and particularly in English will definitely develop. Now, as you all know, communication is definitely very, very important. Whether it is 21st century or the previous century or the future, it is not going to be a skill that is not wanted anywhere. Okay, it will be always in the high and almost in all the companies, they expect only communication as the first skill. If you know language, if you are able to communicate, then you are selected. Then comes the subject knowledge and other things. So, communication as a part of language classes, we have already enough stuff. All these stuff must be implemented, or even for assessment, I would suggest we have to conduct these activities because we depend only on written examination. Maximum marks are allotted for written examination. So when we focus on oral communication, definitely students will involve and they will develop their communication skills and they'll come out with flying colors. The next one is collaboration. As I told you earlier, see, we lived with family members where we collaborated to take some decisions. And even in societies, we collaborated with others to take decisions and solve problems. But now it is very difficult because we are all unique and alone with smartphones. And particularly our students, no need to say, they're always with their mobile. Now, inside the classroom, In a conventional classroom, it's very difficult for us to make students collaborate. So I have 3 activities on this. Ask the students to plan an event, maybe a trip as a team. And now they will collaborate. Actually, we must give them chance, like each one has to take a responsibility and contribute your ideas and come out with a plan. And one has to present it. So what happens here, the communication skill that is developed is used to go along with other person, other companions, other people, those who are around us. So when you ask them to plan for a concert, see for example, I have given you we must tell our students that they are the planning committee for the concert that will take place in their city. So they must plan everything from tickets to food to entertainment, and everyone must involve it. So all the people will be definitely involved. They'll say ticket selling will be like this, so ticket printing will be like that. So who will take care of that? So let us take care of this. They will collaborate. Without collaboration, they cannot make it. Right from the stage arrangement, sound arrangement, okay, communication, advertisement, selling of tickets, distributing of tickets to various places, all these things, advertisements. So when we give such activities, they come together and they collaborate with others. Only then they'll be able to understand, okay, there are difficulties in other sectors too, other areas also. Because when they don't come together, they think his work is very easy, mine is very hard. I work hard and they earn a lot. The attitude like this, are prevailing now very faster, not only among students, even with the administrators and teachers. We think that I work a lot, others they don't work. But we may not be able to understand how far it is difficult for them to do that work from their place. It's very difficult for us to understand. We don't understand. We don't try to understand. So collaborating activities in the classroom is very, very important. The next activity that I would suggest is show the students a picture and have them build a story around it. So normally we use this. A group of students will be there. One starts a storyline, and it is continued. It is developed by other students, and it goes on. And finally, it becomes a very good story. Now, the thing is, in college level, we can ask them to sit together, and each one must contribute for the story, and they have to bring out a beautiful story that can be taken as a cinema, like that. So the curiosity or the interest is, sparked in the minds of the students, so that they can come out all the way and try to contribute something, and they'll feel really proud that they have contributed. And we must also monitor this while they collaborate with each other, because sometimes some students, those who dominate with little effective communication, who will be, ignoring the students, those who are very poor. So as a teacher, we should become facilitators to find some, the happenings in this collaboration among students. Because sometimes some students will feel, alienated in their group, and they don't contribute, and they feel dull. Because our classes are heterogeneous classes. We don't have the same standard, with the same level of language skills, or with the same background, educational background, okay, social background, economical background. So each student from his or her own perspective will be in a different level to contribute. So as a facilitator, we staff members, our teachers, our trainers should facilitate and make everyone collaborate to bring out a beautiful story. Because all these activities which I am just giving you, in our conventional classes, we have already experimented. But now it is a little bit challenging for us. Let me go to the next slide, that is next activity. We should present students with the different scenarios. Okay. Now, these scenarios are imaginative scenarios. Okay. For example, as a team, you are landed in a island, a deserted island. Nothing is there. You have to ask those students, what 5 things would you bring to help your team survive? Right? Because you will not get anybody to help you, but you are there. What are the 5 things? And the prioritizing things for each individual will be definitely different. And students will contribute, these are all the things that are very important. The first thing is this one. From different perspectives, they will say different things. We would ask only 5 things, but those students, their mind will work in a different way to survive in that desert. Definitely, we need all these things. They'll come out with 20 different things. A brainstorming will be done. Definitely, that will happen. And they'll have to reduce the number to 5. They have to conclude with only 5 things to escape from that island. This is one scenario. Like this, as teachers, we can create a lot of scenarios. Okay, maybe in a building where there is a fire accident, you are in the top floor along with your teammates. How would you escape? What would you suggest? Come on. See, immediately each one will have his or her own way to escape from that particular place because it is fire. So they have to decide very fast. There is a problem. We have to solve it. So each one, in his or her own way, they will contribute and they will accept. Sometimes some will immediately accept others' idea, and some will immediately reject that one. Our students must be able to accept the others' ideas and also accept the rejection of their ideas. So for all these in our classrooms, we can provide situations so that students come together and find solutions. Remember, as I told you, it is not only for language learning, it is beyond the classroom for their life. So in such a way, we have to integrate activities in our classrooms to enhance our students' skills. Next is, we need to kindle their creativity. So what are the activities that we can give to kindle or to, spark their creativity? Because all of us, we say, our students, they depend only on notes. They only read summaries. They don't want to be on their own, They don't want to write on their own. They would simply copy from internet. They cut, copy and paste. These are all the complaints and challenges that we find when we give some work to our students. Now, some creative work, like example, I've just I took down from a website. We should, make our students think divergent, thinking out of the box. The example is, say, can you come up with as many uses of an object as possible? It might be any object. Here it is given paper clip. You can just give a shawl, a rope, a pen, any object. When you give this, task, you will really find. I have experimented actually this when I said my students, if you are given a shawl, actually I took a shawl to my class and I handed over that to a student. One who came first, I asked, can you come forward? I'm just going to give you a task using this shawl. So it was a long shawl. I gave it And I just asked, what are the possible ways in which you can use this shawl? I was really wondering when the boys started to do such a lot of usage on a simple shawl. Their creativity was really, admirable. I really wondered how these students are able to say like that. Somewhere negatives. One student, one of mine, he said, you can hang, you can kill yourself. So that was negative. But then others, as one made it as a pillow, one made it as a rope, one made it as a plain bed sheet, another made it as a cradle for a child, another made it as a bed cover, another made it as so many ways. I was really thrilled when they came out. More than 25 activities. I wrote on the board all the activities that is possible with a single shawl. My dear teacher friends, I know it is really challenging for us to conduct these activities in a crowded class. But learning English or acquiring skills is definitely a fun. And some of us are, monitored in a very different way by our management. So we think that if the class is noisy, we'll be marked negative. Definitely, I agree with you. But when we wanted to impart some skills, we need to get out of the box. When we ask our students to get out of the box and do activities and think and do, we should also get out of the box. And definitely, it will be really a very useful class for the students, and we'll have a great satisfaction, and we will see the development of our students. So this activity like this, making a student come forward and give a chance for others also to come out with their divergent thinking on a usage of a simple thing. We can also use words related. I'm just talking about language. How far you can make this and that. So maybe with the real object, when you start, the participation will be different, and you will get a very good response. The next activity that I wanted to tell you is like having a business pitch. Any name. Okay, here it is Dragon's Den style. My dear teachers, you can just make your students to talk or advertise or sell a product. They will come out with wonderful language flow. Sometimes some students will ask you permission, sir, shall I do it in my mother tongue? Allow them. In the beginning, allow them to speak in mother tongue also. Maybe for the second chance, you can ask them to stick on to English alone. Sometimes some students will be bilingual. Allow them. Enjoy that bilingualism from the students. And later on, you can, facilitate them to stick on to English language alone. They will be definitely very creative. Very creative. When you just ask, how will you think on this aspect, they will think in very different ways. I just had one experience, beautiful experience. I said, in a new country, you have to pitch a brand. Okay. So, two of you come here and you have to find out how possible it is to pitch that brand in that particular place. And I gave the instruction that those people in that particular place, are going to buy chapels from you. So you are going to pitch chapels in that particular place. The reason why I'm sending you there is the complete country, the place, the people don't wear chapel at all. What will be your opinion? Will you be able to pitch it? One said, sir, it is impossible because they don't wear chapel at all. How can I go and say that you all must wear chapel? So it is impossible. Another said, Sir, I have a great opportunity because no one is wearing. I can make wear of my company chappals definitely. See, the two different thinking pattern of our students are there. Now, both are correct in their perspectives. Now, how can we make use of this opportunity to make them involve in a creative way to pitch their product? That's it. That is the challenge. So both of them will go there and they will try to market and make all the people buy chappals or wear chappals. So the activity, just I started with like this, and I asked them to bring an ad, that is a video ad for that. They started working with the English, comments, speeches, dialogues, and they made it as an advertisement. Wonderful activity. It took time. It took time. But we can kindle their creativity and they will bring out lots of wonders. And the third activity which I wanted to share on creativity is ask your students. We must ask our students to explain a more complicated concept in a simpler terms. Give the responsibility because sometimes teachers we think, sir, we must simplify everything. No, give them chance to simplify concepts. Say you can ask, say if I'm a four-year-old boy, how will you explain this concept to me? Okay, and I want you to just focus on not the very hard concepts, higher level concepts, simple concepts to make them communicate and to be very creative. Sometimes some students act and they try to explain the concepts. All these are really interesting when you plan the class accordingly and execute it in your classes. It is quite challenging, I understand. Now, all these are our conventional classes. The results are on the screen. LSRW skills are developed, both oral communication and written communication. We are able to develop, and simultaneously, critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and creativity are developed. All these 21st century skills are developed in a conventional classroom. But today, it is very, very difficult to handle all these things. Maybe the perception of some of you, not for all. Any teacher must be ready to take up any class at any time with any material and make the students engage and learn and make them participate in their activities. You know, now comes the next challenge, integrating ICT in curriculum. So in this 21st century, without ICT, I cannot, end this talk or end this session. Definitely, we should integrate ICT. How is it? I'll be a little faster because at this time, I'll take your time, maybe 10 minutes more. English learning videos, using the internet to learn English, online translation tools, learning English with digital stories, storytelling, learning English with social media. Now, as teachers, we say all these gadgets are diverting our students and they don't understand how to use it. And first of all, my first request is we must be learners, all-time learners, because we cannot say we have learned everything, and day by day, everything is changing. Remember, we cannot say that we cannot cut a sorry figure because we don't know that. No, we should not feel because it is changing every day. Now, I'll just move on. English learning videos. How can we integrate ICT in learning English and make our students participate? Ask them to shoot a silent video, just a silent video, and ask them to bring it with something, 1 minute video. Maybe when they play that video, they must say 10 to 20 words to describe their video. maybe the shoot itself, maybe the product, or the use of the advantages of the product, or the disadvantages, whatever it is. They'll make wonders. First, making use of ICT tools like camera, and they will also project it and they will present it. This is one. Number two, using the internet to learn English. Now, most of us we say they copy, they cut, and they produce their assignments and other things. But we need to understand we should give permission. You go to the internet and find out. Okay, and find out why should I trust this website and why not I. When they use internet to learn English, we can one activity like we can give them a quiz. Go to the internet, find out the answers and come out. There are a few questions. In random, we can give questions and make them read from the internet. They should get into the internet and read it and come out with the answers. See, in this, you may say, sir, when we circulate a question paper, one fellow finds the answer. One student finds the answer and he circulates the answers to others. But my dear faculty members who are attending this, we should be clever enough to give different questions for different students, and it is very easy. Now we have AI for our support. We must make use of AI for our support in this. When we give questions, it is not the same question for each student. They should find their own questions different from others. And we should also give time limit so that they cannot share anything from others. Others cannot help them also. Individually, they have to work. So in that way also, we can focus on making use of internet to learn English. I'm sorry. The next one is online translation tool. We talk about our students, sir, get into websites and get translated. Yes, let them get into the websites and get translated. But ask them to translate some passages from two websites. Okay, you can allot different passages for your students. Ask them to translate. Maybe simple sentences, simple paragraphs, small passages. Let them compare two translations from internet and find out which is the correct one. Maybe they may understand these internet materials are fake, or we must not depend on them completely. They will learn the new and the correct one. Ask them to go for translations using internet tools and find out differences, because we have so many translation platforms online. You have Google Translator, definitely it will not the thing that you have in your mind is translated exactly. So make them translate using online translation tools. So later they can also suggest better translators. Next activity is learning English with the digital storytelling. Now, my dear professors, students have a lot of opportunity to publish their own books. Ask them to publish and give the links. Maybe in podcasts, in books, ebooks, and we have book creator for Androids, for Windows and iOS. You have book creators. The books can be print books, photos, voice, drawings, and whatnot. All the opportunities are there. We have to provide these things. So what happens? Students, they think, they join together maybe as a joint venture with the two authors. They can publish a book. They'll collaborate in that way. Their creativity comes out, able to communicate, and all these skills are developed. The next one is learning English with social media. Most of the time we complain our students are always on social media. Never mind. You can make use of that platform to uh, develop their English language skills along with their 21st century skills. So ask them to use blogs, read blogs. Blogging helps students write practice because researchers, um, we find it very difficult to write research papers. We say, sir, where to publish? To complete my PhD, they're asking for publications, where to do, what to do, how to do. A simple study in our class, with our students, you can publish lot of empirical, research articles. Once I did this. Actually, I was finding it very difficult to make my students speak out. So I said, can you just speak on our canteen where you wanted to have some reforms like that? Students immediately started to speak out on negative aspects. I thought, okay, when I asked about something negative, they are ready to say. When I asked about say about your college, they say I don't have anything to say. Then immediately what I thought, okay, I gave some more places where they wanted to speak about the negatives, about the government offices or like hostel facilities like that. Many students came out. Then immediately I said to myself to write an article. Okay, negative titles or negative. I exactly forgot the title which I gave for that publication. Negative titles trigger students to speak out very fluently in English. Students came out with a lot of, opinions. I said only in English. So they were able to come out, sir, this is bad, that is bad, we have to rectify this and that. And now, this social media makes them or gives them or provides them, wonderful platform for them to express their experiences and also sometimes findings. And we also get content for writing our research articles. We can just make these experiences into articles and publish. So I request all the faculty members to watch all the changes that are happening in the class, the perceptions, the learning styles, the resources, and the influences of all these maybe from all the dimensions, influences like internet, social media, gadgets, whatnot. We can add anything and make research articles and also make it possible for our students to learn a lot. So that is the place, you will have to really explore on this. Learning English with Facebook. The Cambridge English Facebook page is updated every day. Facilitate your students to watch and find out what is new in English and ask them to submit a report or present it in the class. Definitely you will find a lot of difference in their language development. And finally, ChatGPT is there. Most of us will say ChatGPT is going to kill our creativity, and definitely if you use it in a particular way, it is going to kill our creativity. But we can make use. All the teachers have to explore how best we can make use of this AI like ChatGPT in various platforms they are coming in. We can make use of these things, along with ICT in our conventional classes with the provided students, with provided infrastructure. We can make wonders and make our students better for this world. So that's how I wanted to end. Remember, we are all learners. The exciting part of digital technology is that students, parents, and teachers are all learning about digital technologies together at the same time. So don't say it is impossible. We are all, including all the experts in computers are learning daily. So let us explore, discover, experiment, create, and be open-minded to new opportunities so that we can make better world. So these are all the references that I made, and If you have any questions, I don't know whether it will be possible for me to answer now. And if you are, I know, organizers can ask a few questions if they have. Otherwise, thank you very much for your patient listening. And I wanted to thank all the organizers for giving me this wonderful opportunity to share a few thoughts and experiences with faculty members. Thank you, one and all.
So thank you very much, sir. Like it was really a wonderful session. You have changed this forum into an English classroom totally. So step by step, no, you have explained a lot, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank the management, the resource person, the principal, and all other faculty members, particularly the head of the departments, and for giving us this opportunity to telecast this FTP for the second day. Once again, let me thank one and all who have gathered here. Thank you for your patience. Be with us for all other days. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. It's an honor and a pleasure, sir, to thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Your feedback link will be posted now in the message box. It will be there. So kindly use that. So in the name of Dr. Sangeeta Priya, it will come. Thank you, dear participants. You can make use of this Google form and kindly fill your feedback. So it is posted only here. So check it and fill it. See whether you can just open it. So thank you, sir. So we are ending our day 2 activity with today. Thank you very much. Kindly join us on Monday.
Thank you.
Tomorrow we
Thank you,
will
ma'am.
join us on Monday.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.